Alrighty, in the last video we talked about how to solve equations with products inside them. Now we want to talk about absolute value equations. And so let's just think about this. Of an example. Let's just solve, and we'll do two examples here. One, we'll do a pretty simple one. Absolute value of x is equal to 17. And then the second example, so that'll be example number one. Example two here, absolute value of x plus 4 is equal to 10, suppose. That's the one. Okay, so let's think about this. Well, this part's not too crazy on the left side here, but it's gonna help us. We're gonna use that as a stepping stone to get to this slightly more interesting one on the right side. Okay, so let's think about this. Remember that whatever is inside here, all that means is that, well, if the absolute value of that number, all that means is that that number is 17 units away from x, and so that's the definition of absolute value. So I can go 17 that way. Oops. That's right, like so. I can go 17 off to the right side, and this would be, well, positive 17. But another option would be to go 17 units. We'll walk 17 units to the left side of 0. And that would be at negative 17. And so either of these would be answers. And so this would say that x is equal to 17 or negative 17. And you'd have two answers. Okay. It gets slightly more interesting with this, where it's not just absolute value of x, it's absolute value of x plus 4. Excuse me, x plus 4. Blech. Okay. Let's think about this. Remember, we want to find x, but what I can do is I can just kind of cover this up. As of right now, I'm just going to kind of cover this up and substitute it, and just rewrite it as the absolute value of not x plus 4, but absolute value of, make up anything you want. It could be any symbol. I could call it smiley face if you want. I like to use smiley face. What does that mean then? Well, if we go look back on the left side, all this says is that smiley face is 10 units away from 0. So we could be at positive 10, or we could be at negative 10. That's all that means, isn't it? And so, well, smiley face equals 10, or smiley face equals negative 10. Okay, hang on a second. Because the question doesn't ask us what smiley face is asking us what x is. And so we have to remember here, the substitution that we're making is we're saying that smiley face is equal to x plus 4. Sorry, that came, well, my pen is skipping again. X plus 4. Okay, so we have to now take care of that substitution and kind of undo our cover up there. And so instead of smiley face equals 10, it's actually x plus 4 equals 10, or remember over here on the right side, x plus 4 equals negative 10. In this case, we just have two equations that we need to solve. And so in either case, we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So we'll subtract 4. And then we'll subtract 4. And we will get our two answers. Let me clean this up for you. So x from the left side gets us, I believe, 6. Or from the right side, that'll get us negative 14. So just something you always want to be aware of when you have absolute value equations is that a lot of times you're going to get more than one answer.